Hey, Zach.
How's it going? Good to see you, Michael.
Good, man. How are you?
I've been better. This time last year, we were on a path, man. We were rolling. But I think what was it that yesterday was the Georgia game last year, something like that. Kind of different circumstances, but yeah.
Strange days indeed. Let's start with your game. You were a little off this week. Were you making some tweaks, adjustments, trying to do something different? What led to some of that?
I don't like making excuses. I didn't hit the ball as well as I should have. I wasn't 100%, but I'll turn around this game and I'll have a good game. I'll hit the ball well this time. And the goal too last game was not allow number 6 to beat us in the return game, and I think we accomplished that. So and that was kind of our game plan. And I did have subpar numbers, and I shouldn't have taken out a first down marker the week before, but like I said, I'll be fine for Florida.
Things are dropping like flies. That's how we got bent this weekend.
I know.
Last year, it was the You Name It award. This year, it's the specialist holding down the fort. I guess just what does it mean to be out for the raid guy and have Cade up for the Groza?
I mean, shoot, it's awesome. In my perspective, though, I think I'd rather be on a national championship contender like last year, because people were like, "Oh, dude, you're not getting playing time." I'm like, well, so what? We're winning. But now this year, I've had the opportunity to punt a lot, and that's, it's cool, but it's also, losing possessions a lot is a problem. It's hard to go out there knowing it. When you go out there, people are like, "Dang, we're punting the ball again," But on Cade's end, he's having a hell of a year. I think I don't know what he is from 50 yards or further, but he's killing it. And it seems like almost every game, his first kick of the game is a 50-yard field goal, and I'm pretty sure he's got the best, or if not one of the best, percentages from 50 plus of anybody in the country. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there's somebody that's like 2 for 2 or 3 for 3, but I'm pretty sure he has like 8 or 9 attempts, or maybe whatever from 50 plus, and he's doing well.
Yeah, Zach, Ron Higgins, Tiger Rag. You had a really introspective tweet yesterday. It said, people think this year is normal. It's not. I couldn't imagine being a freshman this season. Nobody wants to address issues like mental health, but imagine not being able to enjoy yourself away from football. No matter what you do, you need an outlet. There are none. Can you just talk about that?
It wasn't directly meant for Arik Gilbert. I think people took it as that. It wasn't. It was in general.
I didn't take it.
Okay. Well, but this year, especially after last year, like the sophomore class would have seen it. But our experience and the way things were last year, the excitement, anywhere you go, you heard positive things about LSU football. We had arguably the greatest season ever. You had countless things it was just an excitement of, you could feel it in Baton Rouge. Like the city itself was lit up all the time. Everywhere was packed. Anytime you went somewhere, it was a fun experience. And now I'm talking anywhere. Like I remember going to Rouse's after practice and hearing people talk about, "Oh my God, the Tigers are unbelievable this year." Well, fast forward to this season, and it's the exact opposite, plus the pandemic on top of that. So if you're a freshman or even a sophomore, and I'm sure it's affecting upperclassmen too, but they've come in their own and they know what they need to do, and a lot are also focused on going to the NFL. So they have like a routine set in stone that they know that they need to fulfill in order to play at the next level. Whereas the underclassmen are still trying to figure themselves out, and they're trying to understand, for the freshmen, they got pitched a dream last year. They went on recruiting visits and told certain things like, "Oh, it's going to be this way, it's going to be that way," but all that came to an abrupt halt when we had a pandemic occur. And I get it, that's not just here, that's everywhere. But add on top of that, you have to follow up the greatest college football season in history. And some of the greatest players we've ever had come through LSU on the team, and they're all stars in the NFL now. And it's kind of like it's different now. It's not the same atmosphere, and that's not because of anything we're doing. We're just not playing to the caliber that we have the players. We're just not playing up to the standard that the players can and will. I mean, we have huge recruits here. We have great players coming in, and right now we're not where we need to be, but that's okay. And that's part of the growing pain, and people are frustrated. We're frustrated. But I think the future is bright, and people want to dwell and say, "Oh my God, this and that." But like, we were 15-0 last year. How are we going to replicate that without the upperclassmen, NFL first round, all the first rounders, all the talent? How are we going to replicate that with such a young team? And expectations should be higher at LSU. We should be a contender every year, and we will be. It's just this year, just things didn't pan out the way we wanted, and the way the expectations wanted. And but back to the mental health side of it, it's just it's hard to when you don't know. I'm trying to think of how a situation specifically, but when you get away from football and you outside of maybe video games or staying in your dorm or your apartment, you're told you shouldn't really go anywhere because you don't want to be selfish and expose the team to coronavirus. That's an issue, and I know a lot of guys aren't doing stuff because of that. And like I said already, a lot of teams are going through that, but a lot of teams are like, if in the case of Florida A&M, whatever, they're having a hell of a season. They're doing well. They're one loss. Alabama's undefeated. When you're winning, it kind of hides the fact that things are so different, and that's why I feel like things here, like you said, it just feels so different from last year, because it is different from last year, and people can't. It's more difficult to enjoy life outside of here when you're not supposed to do anything, and that, like you said, that's everywhere, but it's probably made worse here just because of the situation at hand.
And Zach, you're a tenured person on this team. I mean, what can you tell us about the locker room right now? What are the conversations players are having? Is there a unity? What's going on right now?
I mean, there's no issue with players and coaches. It's more of a we're disappointed in the season that we're having. Guys are going to be hard on themselves because we're not performing to the standards that we feel that we could, and that's a huge issue. When you're in the case of a young player, freshman, whatever, you come here after a national championship season and we don't have the caliber of season that we felt that we could have, and we never really got to get on a roll. We never got to stack 3-4 wins together. And whenever you don't have that rhythm of production in terms of winning, it's just a different environment that you're not used to. And that would be for the case of players that have returned from last year after going 15 straight wins in a row. Like, talk about a rhythm, that's unbelievable. But there's no animosity or what do you call it? There's no strife. It's just it's a hard year, and people are trying to figure it out, and is the morale down a little bit? Of course, but that's because we're not playing well, and we need to. We need to improve our game, and I hope we can this week against Florida.